Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel. As you've noticed, I've been gone for a while, and that's because my internet data limit had been exceeded. So when that happens, the internet, or not the internet, but just the data speed slows down tremendously. And I guess for those of you that have YouTube channels, you already know that there's massive amounts of data that are transferred. So when that happens and you have a slow data speed, it just either it takes hours upon hours upon hours to upload, or it will upload for a while and then just quit. It'll time out. So anyway, I'm back to normal, and this project is part two of the two-part stencil review for Craspire. These stencils they're a little bit thin. They're thicker than like an adhesive stencil, but they're a lot thinner than just a regular stencil. And what I'm going to do, yeah, you can see paint on it, but I was just playing around doing different techniques with it. So anyway, this is a 4x4 canvas. This canvas is old. This is back during my acrylic paint pouring days. And it just so happened that this stencil is 12 by 12, which made it really really nice. But anyway, what I'm going to do is use the same method that I did in the last video. I don't stencil. The last time I stenciled was, oh gosh, 30 some odd years ago. And I don't, I wish I could remember what I used for just a traditional way to, or the traditional method of applying, the paint inside the stencil. But this way, with the gel and the acrylic paint, it's going to look textured when I lift up that stencil. So that's Liquitex matte gel. I don't know why they call it gel, because it looks like a thick body, like a body butter or body lotion, I guess. And then on top of that, I'm going to spread Artesa's Mars Black acrylic paint. And when you go to apply your matte and your paint, you want to use a palette knife such as the one that I have here, with the recessed handle. You could probably use a regular stick, but I don't know. I haven't tried it, but anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the paste on the back of the palette knife and spread it around. This technique is similar to how you would frost a cake. Not a decorated cake like what you would get from a bakery, but a cake that you would make at home, and frost the cake. You know what that frosting looks like. It looks like it's all textured, and that's the same method that you want to use here. Now it looks like I'm going almost a mile a minute, but actually I'm not, and that's why that's a good it's a good part why I have it sped up is because it does take a long time to to do this technique, because you don't want to just plaster it on and really not paying attention, and your stencil is gonna that gel is thick, and if you're not paying attention, it could pull up your stencil, and you don't want that because you're taking a risk of it um, going onto your canvas in places where you don't want it. So I would highly, highly recommend that you take this step very slowly. And I'm almost out of that gel, and I had just enough in order to finish this stencil. I could have done it thicker, applied it thicker, but I knew that there was not a lot left in that jar. So it's not, I don't have the texture that I really wanted, but at least there's some on there. And that's what you want to do. You don't want to spread it on there all nice and neat and what was it? Just all nice and neat and flat. You do want a lot of texture on it if you can. Now I'm just going to go through and see if there's anything, any spaces I left, just kind of checking it out. Because I'm thinking, I want more texture. I want more texture, but I couldn't get more because, I didn't have enough of the paste. And they do have what is called chalk paste. And what it is, yeah, I'm gonna just squirt this out. I don't know why these people put this paint in bags. All their other paints are in bottles. So, but anyway, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. But yeah, and you want to go through and do the same thing you did with the gel. Now, they do sell, if you're interested in doing some stenciling, they do have what is called a chalk paste. And basically what that is it's the same thing that I'm using here, but everything is all together. Now you could mix the gel and the acrylic paint together and smear it on that way, but I don't know, I just like to play, so that's why I do it this way. But yeah, the chalk paste is in a jar. I don't know how much they are because, like I said, I don't stencil, and you don't have to stencil on canvas. You can stencil on furniture, um, basically anything with a flat surface. You can stencil on it. So, you know, give it a try for a change. If you're bored, get you, go to Craspire and get you some stencils and just do what I'm doing. Have some fun. So yeah, I've got a paper towel and I'm wiping off my knife because if I don't, that paint is going to be everywhere. You can probably see it on my arm. I got some on the paper towel. Now when you lift up your tape, you want to support the area around it, because if not, and it could pull up the stencil and ruin ruin all of the work that you've done. Ruin the pattern, basically. to the stencil. So we're going to slowly pull that up. Now, as you can see, there are areas that there's no paint. I don't know why. I could have sworn that I just went in, tried to spread around the black as best as I could. But anyway, how I'm going to fix this is I'm going to take a number 2 paintbrush, which is a thin, it's kind of like a liner brush, and I'm going to take some paint and put it in a small, you know, you can see I have a small silicone cup right there, and I'm going to just squirt out a small amount of paint, you know, that acrylic paint. And I'm going to take this paint and I'm going to just lightly apply it to the areas that are white. Okay, so I'm going to take this paint and just very lightly go along and fill in the white parts. I didn't think about it until a long time after I did all of this, but I could have let that, you know, I could have let everything dry and then go back and do the detail that I needed to do without having to worry about mixing the paint in with the gel. You know, I could have just painted the acrylic, you know, on top of the gel and not even worry about it. But, you know, hindsight. Okay, y'all, I'm finished with the touch-ups, or at least I hope I am. I'm looking to see, but anyway, y'all get the idea of what you're supposed to do. Now, I just saw something. See there? Okay, I was trying to get over here to do that. Okay. Okay, now, and that's it. So when it dries, it will dry with a texture on it. And I've got thank goodness acrylic paint. That's why I love acrylic paint. It dries fast, you can scrape it off. Anyway, so since this is an old painting, and it was fluid paint, in case y'all want to try it, always tape. I'm not going to take the tape off now because this is all wet, but I'm going to try to, you want to tape off the underside of your edges, you know, all of the wood, tape it off, because when that acrylic paint flows over the side, it won't, you know, it won't mess up your wood, and your wood, you know, the underside can look all clean. So I might do that in the next video, you know, just to show y'all. But this is it. So if you like this video, like and subscribe if you want to. Just look in the description box for affiliate links. There's resin in there, there's glitter, there's TEMU. I have discount for TEMU. There's more in there. Plus, if you have a question or you know, anything, my email is in there if you want to make a contribution. I just joined Cash App, so this will be the first video that I hope I can get the link in there. But I do have PayPal. I used to have an Etsy shop, but I don't know. You know, I want to get into making jewelry, and I have all the stuff. I just need to get off my fat duff and do it, because, you know, I do want to sell it. And anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on now, and until next time, dare to create. Okay, y'all, I got to thinking about it, and I went ahead and let this dry. It's not totally dry, but it's dry enough for me to handle. So I got to thinking about it, and I'm going to take the tape off the back. Now, mind you, this tape has been on here for about 3 years. I just, you know, after I created it, I just thought, I don't like it. So I just threw it in a box with some other ones and never took the tape off of it. But you get the idea of what I was talking about, keeping your frame clean. Now, a lot of times the paint will seep underneath the tape and, get onto the canvas. But at least your wood is clean. So, yeah, this tape has been on here so long that it's hard to get off. But if you do find that it's a problem to get your tape off, you can take your heat gun, not your torch, because that'll set it on fire, but take your heat gun and just, only for a few seconds, put the heat to it, and it will soften up the sticky, and it'll come off. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. I just wanted y'all to see what can be a clean back. Okay. There we go. There's some more tape. Okay. There we go. Yeah, sometimes you can just go ahead and get it to come off, but other times, especially the longer you leave it, the longer you leave the tape on there, the more difficult it is to get it up, because it's just, set on there for so long that it decides to become one with your canvas. So yeah, I don't know how that got like that, but anyway, there's your canvas part, and then there's your picture. So anyway, okay, I'm done now. Until next time, y'all, dare to create. Oh, the stencil, my review on the stencil is it's a little thin. Both of them are a little thin. If you were going to use a stencil in the traditional way, you would have to be super, super careful to avoid bleeding. With using the gel, you can eliminate that. Now, there are some companies that have self-adhesive stencils, and I don't know what they're like because I've never had one to actually look at physically, but yeah, they do have them to where you can peel off the back. The back is sticky, and you apply it to whatever you're going to apply it to, and you can do it that way, and that prevents, I would guess about 95% of your bleeding. I don't know. I've never had one, but anyway, yeah, these, if you're real careful with these stencils, they're fun to use, and I guess that's it. I know I'll turn this video off and go, oh, I forgot to tell them so and so, but if I do, it will be in the description. So yeah, anyway, I look forward to seeing y'all next time, and until next time, dare to create.